Hey everyone's Jackal Wolf back in Feed the Beasts Stoneblock 3 with another tutorial let's play video. Now if you've been following along, you know that we are working our way through the quest book. Last episode we completed the 5 cobblestone generator quests, including the tier 5 cobblestone generator. This is the one that required molten diamond. To get molten diamond in our world, we had to get some blazing blood. To get blazing blood, we needed some blaze heads. The only thing we've got left is this no solicitor sign, which is basically a sign that prevents wandering traders from spawning. Now, I don't have a wandering trader problem right now. I haven't seen any spawn, so to me, if I make the sign now and place it up, I don't actually know if it's working. So until I get to a point where I'm getting those wandering traders spawning, it doesn't make sense for me to actually, build that sign. This episode though, and I'm going to try to get through this one, I'm just getting over a cold. I apologize for my voice. We're going to go over to the passive resources tab and we're going to start doing the chickens. The chickens mod is by and far one of my favorite mods, one of my favorite classic mods. It was very, very popular in a lot of 1.12 mod packs like Stoneblock 2, like Sky Factory 3. As you can see, there's probably about 60 different chickens available through this pack, which puts it at slightly less than some of the earlier versions. But certainly there's going to be quite a few here for us to create. So many, in fact, that we're definitely not going to be able to do them all in one episode. So for this episode, we're going to start with the chicken chaser, make a chicken catcher. We're going to do the make a roost. This is sort of the chicken resource gatherer. And while we're not going to get into breeding this episode, I am going to show you guys how to craft the breeder. But the main focus for this episode is the craftable chickens. And there are 11 craftable chickens that we're going to create for you today, plus one bonus chicken that's going to be very helpful for you to get eggs into your world. But before we get started, now would be a great time to click on that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted every time I post a new video to my channel. Also, if you're enjoying this content and you want to support, click on the join button down below. Check out all the perks I've got available for my community members, one of which is the supporter shout out. You guys might have seen these popping up throughout my videos. Alternately, you can check out my Patreon page. There's a link down below in the description. But enough about that, let's get back to the video. So before we can get any of the craftable resource chickens in our world, we're going to need 2 things. One of which is going to be 21 of these mechanical crafters set up in the following pattern with the 3x3 in the middle and then each 3 extended by 1 on the ends. This is going to be what we use to actually create the chickens. The other thing that you're going to require is a lot of chicken eggs. Now, luckily in Stoneblock 3, chicken eggs are a regular drop from the loot bees. So as long as you've been going chasing after them in your world, collecting all those random drops, there's a good chance that you're going to have at least a stack and a half of these eggs in your world already. Unfortunately, you're probably going to need more than that to get started. So what I did was I created sort of a vanilla chicken egg factory. And I used my initial eggs to just get myself 2 regular chickens, however many you can get out of throwing the eggs against the wall. I've got them trapped in here. They're laying eggs at a regular rate, a regular vanilla chicken rate, which is not very, very much, but it has given me enough eggs to complete the rest of these recipes. Now, jumping back to the quest book, the first quest that we've got to do today is to make ourselves a chicken catcher. To make the chicken catcher, we're going to need an egg, a stick, and a feather. Now, the feather is not really craftable in any way, shape, or form. So the only way that we're going to be able to do that is to kill ourselves a vanilla chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take this plank, I'm going to take this seed, and let's just block off that passageway right there. And then we're going to break this piece of glass. Can you guys? No, that fence is a little too high. We're going to break that. There you guys go. I'm now going to use my chicken cleaver to hopefully just kill one of these guys. Can I let you out? There we go. Perfect. That way I don't hurt them both. There we go. And we've now got ourselves a feather, which is really good because I don't want to have to kill this second chicken. So to make the chicken catcher, like I said before, we need an egg, we need a stick, and then we need a feather. And speaking of loot bees, there's another one. He's right above me there. I am going to ignore him for the moment because I've got the resources that I need. But again, to make the chicken catcher, egg, stick, feather, that gets us our chicken catcher. Now, what the chicken catcher does is any resource chicken in your world, you can right click on them and it'll turn it from a live chicken in your world to a chicken token. You can put those chicken tokens into the roost. That's something we're going to build here shortly. The problem is, and this is something that differs from previous versions, is this does not work on the vanilla chicken. You can't tell, but I am furiously right-clicking on this chicken. If I left-click on it, it just hurts them. So this does not work on vanilla chickens. That means we cannot put a vanilla chicken into a roost. Now, this is not a huge deal. The vanilla chickens just drop vanilla eggs, but it may be handy to have some extra eggs in our world. So as the bonus chicken that we talked about previously, what we're going to do is we're going to convert this vanilla chicken into a smart chicken. Now, to make a smart chicken, we're first going to need a book. There are basically 3 book recipes in Stoneblock 3. The one I'm using is the slime, the 2 patterns, and the 3 paper. But 3 papers and a leather, 3 papers and a canvas will also get you a book. Taking the book and right-clicking on the chicken with it turns it into a smart chicken. Now with the smart chicken, if we take our chicken catcher, we can go right-click on it. You can see it turns itself into the little chicken icon, which means we can now put it into a roost or into a breeder. Or if we want it back in our world, we can just right-click on the floor with it. It is now a live chicken. Right-click on it again with the chicken catcher. It is back to that chicken token. So speaking of the roost, now is a good time for us to show you guys how to build it. To build a roost, it is going to be 5 planks in a crafting table with 3 hay bales. So that gets us our roost. Now, I'm going to come back over here and let's quickly clean up this little mess. Now, there's a number of different ways to do this. You can place this roost in your world. You can put your chicken in here, and it's got 4 inventory slots that it will fill up fairly quick. Alternately, what you can do, though, is you can place it on top of like a hopper or one of the pipes or any sort of inventory movement system and, feed it into a chest or into a different storage system or into machines or stuff like that. Very, very simple, very, very easy to use. Whatever method that you decide to use, all you need to do is take your chicken token, throw them into the roost. You'll get a little bit of a progress bar. Once that bar is full up, it will lay its resource. So here we go. Watch quickly. There you go. There was an egg kicked out of that one there. So there's our egg right there. One thing to keep in mind, another way in which this differs from previous versions, and I don't know if it's just the Stoneblock 3 version or if it's the 1.18 version that is, Stoneblock 3 is using. Previous versions of the chicken mods also dropped feathers, manure, and often the egg of the type of chicken that was being laid. So a smart chicken would also drop a smart chicken egg, which you could go and place in a nest and basically hatch yourself another smart chicken. This is not a part of Stoneblock 3, though it may be something that's actually been taken out of the mod in general. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is each of these chickens has some stats. So this smart chicken is currently a 1-1-1 chicken. That means it has 1 growth, 1 gain, and 1 strength. If I was to use the breeder, which I'm going to show you guys how to make just in a second, and put 2 of these chickens side by side in the breeder, it would combine together to make a better chicken down below. You can take those better chickens, feed them back up into your breeder, and basically get your way all the way up to 10-10-10. A 10-10-10 chicken will make resources incredibly fast compared to a 1-1-1 chicken. The other reason that you're going to want to use the breeder is to breed 2 different types of chickens together to get a 3rd type of chicken. Now, that's something we're going to focus on in a different episode. But for your guys' information only, to make a chicken's breeder, it is going to be that same roost recipe, the 5 planks and the 3 hay bales, with 1 wheat seed in the middle. That's going to get you a breeder. Now, I'm going to leave this here in the crafting table for next episode, but we are going to need 11 more of these roosts. That's because there are 11 craftable chickens. So I'm just going to go really quickly place these on the wall here. All right, there you go. So we now have our spaces for our resource chickens. So coming back over here, like I said before, all of the craftable resource chickens, all 11 of them, are going to require the 21 mechanical crafters. And the recipes are very, very straightforward. So for instance, the Nether Quartz chicken is going to be 1 chicken egg in the middle surrounded by 20 Nether Quartz. The yellow chicken egg is going to be 1 chicken egg in the middle surrounded by 20 yellow dye, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to try to go through these fairly quick. They are all fairly simple, though I will have some explanations on some of the harder resources to get. So to start, let's start with the log chicken. This is probably one of the most simple ones. It's going to take 1 egg in the middle, surrounded by 20 logs. And you can use pretty much any different type of log available in the game. Once you've got them all there together, they're going to go compact down into the chicken recipe, and then it's going to convert over here into the actual chicken token. There you go. You can see that was the wood chicken. He's now in here. I'm going to go take him out. Quest complete, craftable chickens. That's exactly what we were looking for. Let's go throw him in here. And he's just going to start producing resources for us while we go complete the rest of these chickens. Now, that was super simple. Next up, let's do the sand chicken. Now, sand is something we've been using in our world by breaking down cobblestone using the hammer. To make the sand chicken, it is the chicken egg in the middle, surrounded by the 20 sand blocks. And there you go. That is the sand recipe. And we got ourselves a sand chicken, which is perfect. Next up is going to be the ink black chicken. Now, to make an ink black chicken, we're going to need some black ink in our world. Now, there's a number of different ways to get black ink in our world. It's not too difficult to find. The method that I'm going to use is just running some coal through my little millstone here, and then we're just going to go mill it up. Now, the nice thing about the millstone recipe is it's a 2-for-1. So 1 piece of coal will get us 2 ink black. And there you go. We've got our black dye, and then we actually got a bonus gray dye out of that as well. So like the previous recipes, 1 chicken egg in the middle, surrounded by 20 black dye. There you go. It's going to go create that recipe. And there is our black dye chicken, which is perfect. Next up is going to be the soul sand chicken. Now, soul sand is a little bit of a process to get. You can go out to your nether, find it there naturally, or you can create it in your world by using a create mixer. The best method, though, is if you've got 1 piece of soul sand already, you can light that on fire in front of an encased fan. You are now haunting items, and then you can run sand through that haunting, which will convert it into soul sand for you. So to make a soul sand chicken, it is the 1 egg in the middle surrounded by the 20 soul sand. There you go. And there you go. We've got ourselves a soul sand chicken, which is perfect. So next up is the nether quartz chicken. Now, nether quartz is another item that we can create in our world using the encased fan, this time with water. So we're washing rather than the haunting. But if we wash soul sand in it, that's one of the methods we get nether quartz for. To make a nether quartz chicken, it is 1 chicken egg in the middle, surrounded by the 20 nether quartz. There you go. And there we go. We've got ourselves a nether quartz chicken, which is perfect. Next up is a blue dye chicken. Now, to make blue dye in our world, we're going to need lapis. We've been getting lapis by washing gravel, but lapis by itself is not going to help. We got to turn that into blue dye. We can now go take our chicken egg, take our 20 blue dye, and perfect. We've now got ourselves a blue dye chicken. Next up is the Flint Chicken. And again, we've been getting flint by washing gravel with our encased fan. Once again, it is a egg in the middle surrounded by the 20 flint. There you go. And bingo bango, we've now got ourselves a Flint Chicken. Next up is the bone white chicken, or the white dye chicken. To do that, we're going to need a bunch of bone meal. Now, we could be getting bone meal by running a bunch of organics through a composter. I had a bunch of bones left over from when we were out in the world, so that's going to be the method that I'm using. But to make white dye, we're first going to need bone meal. We're going to leave that extra one behind. Bone meal in a crafting table will get you white dye. Once again, chicken egg in the middle, surrounded by 20 white dye. And there we go. White dye chicken. That means we've got 3 left. Let's do our cactus green dye. Now, we can get green dye from cactus. We were able to get cactus by using a crook on sand. That's the same way we got the sugarcane for the paper. It's the same way we can get bamboo and kelp. So once again, egg in the middle, surrounded by green dye. And then once this is complete, and there you go, we've got ourselves a green dye chicken. Next up is going to be the red dye chicken. Now, we could go and get flowers in our world, red flowers. Similar to how we get the cactus, using a crook on a grass block will get you an occasional drop of a flower. That's not very efficient though. What we're going to do is we're going to use the beetroot method. Beet seeds were something that we were able to get really early on in our world by using that crook on just a regular block of dirt. Regardless, what we're going to do is we're going to take those 20 beets, we're going to throw them in a crafting table. That's going to get us 20 red dye. One chicken egg in the middle, surrounded by the red dye. And there we go. Red dye chicken. Perfect. Now, last but not least is going to be the yellow dye chicken. And again, we could use the flower method where we, break down grass blocks using the crook to get the yellow flowers. Or we can do something like taking this sulfur and running it through our crushing wheel. So let's go throw this up there. This is going to go crush it into sulfur powder. There you go. We've now got ourselves 20 sulfur powder. And if we go back out to our front, we're going to go put that one egg in there and then the 20 sulfur powder or yellow dye if that's the way that you went. And bingo bango, we've got ourselves a yellow dye chicken, which is absolutely perfect. It's exactly what we've been waiting for. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here and we're just going to go place all of these guys into their respective roosts. And there you go. We now have all of the craftable chickens in our world. All of these chickens are going to be used to make higher level chickens. So we're going to be able to make an iron chicken. We're going to be able to make a lava chicken. We're going to be able to make a water chicken, plus a bunch of other really, really cool and useful stuff. Let me know in the comments below if you guys got any questions about this. You can also leave me any questions or comments on my Discord page. There's a link down below in the description. But that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.